What's going on, everyone? Back with another live stream. This makes it double digits now. And this week moving forward, the live streams will just be Q&A. And if you didn't catch last week's live stream, I did update everyone saying that my YouTube schedule has changed. So, and if you're just joining me now, topic of the discussion, questions. So I have about 10 questions lined up, and yeah, we'll just answer the questions, interact with you all. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer to the best of my abilities as well, and then we'll go from there. So, and it has been a day. What a day it has been. What's up, Drew? How's it going? Yeah, it's been a day. I've been out since I left the house around 9 or 8:45, and then met up a colleague at the office. We ended up, I'm helping him put on a food drive, and with the food drive, we had to manually staple flyers to bags, and the bags we got from the Contra Costa food bank. So they were kind enough to provide the bags, and then we were dropping off the bags at his farm, and we were, by farm I mean just an area that he's familiar with, in which he spends his time and energy focusing on getting leads there, helping out the community, being active in that community. And with that, we were, going door to door. We weren't knocking on anyone's door. We were just simply putting the bags on their front porch. And then they are supposed to leave, if they want to donate, then canned foods in the bag, and then put it on their driveway on Saturday, and then we would go pick it up on Saturday. So we were doing that, and towards the tail end of when we were finishing up, or that means the same thing, towards the tail end, and we were wrapping up, there was a small dog running around. And at first I was like, okay, there's a small dog. Okay, number one, he was wearing a sweater vest. And he was just roaming around, and he was at a property, and then he was at one property, and then I was like, okay, it's probably the owner's got to be around somewhere. Or, it's the dog belongs to that house or whatever. So, I'm moving along, and then I noticed a dog is going from house to house. And I was like, okay, where's the owner? This is a little bit, what do I do? Do I pick it up? Do I try to find its owner? And I was thinking about this, and I was like, you know what? I don't know. I'm just going to keep going, because I kind of just didn't think about it after that. I thought about it for a second, but then I was like, okay, forget it. I'll just keep going. And then next thing you know, a gentleman is jogging to go get the dog. And I'm like, what? Why is this guy jogging? And then his mom was there too, and then I was like, okay, what's up with this? What are you guys looking for? Or I didn't know what they were looking for the dog at first. And the next thing they were like, yeah, that's our dog. We're looking for a little white dog. And I was like, oh yeah, I saw that white dog. Where did it go? And he was trying to chase it, but the dog kept running away. And he was like, it's over there, it's over there. I was like, all right, let me go try and help out. So I jog at half mile, catch up, and I go try to get the dog, and I was looking around, and then dog wasn't there. So dog wasn't there, ended up coming back, flipping the other way around and then walking back, and then I didn't even see the gentleman or the lady. So I don't know, hopefully they found their dog. So, but yeah, that was my day. So, and yeah, it's been a busy one. So yeah, and I didn't even get to eat anything. Before this I ran a mile, and then I didn't do any pull-ups yet, and I drank a protein shake and took some creatine. So, all right, give it a little bit more time, and then we'll get into the questions. So I'm going to try this format out of just answering questions. Usually I'll have a topic, and then, usually I'll have a Q&A day separate, and then my live stream separate. Tuesdays are usually Q&A, and then Wednesdays are live streams. But now I'm merging the two just so that I can come out with different types of content, or more of certain types of content. So moving forward, I want to come out with 2 jiu-jitsu videos a week, and then also 2 real estate videos a week. So I want to make room for those videos. So just because my jiu-jitsu videos tend to do pretty well, and then also my real estate videos don't do that well, but I want to, number one, I want to put my scripts practice up just so that I can see my transformation as the weeks pass by. And then number two, the other real estate video, I want it to be more of a documenting my journey of, okay, here are some tips or tricks that I've learned. Here are the things that the knowledge that I want to pass along specifically to newer agents, because that's where I am in my journey. So, like things like, one of the top 3 ways to learn as a new real estate agent, or full-time versus part-time, or stuff like that. So I'm excited to keep making those videos, and yeah, so all in all, that is the game plan. And I want to stick with my review videos, and also my ultra running videos are turning more into not necessarily ultra running, but just like training in general, exercise, just because I haven't been able to run as much as I used to. So I used to run or make an ultra running video on Sunday, but now I haven't been running all that much, to be honest with you, for one reason or the other, busy with work, making excuses. But all in all, that'll just be like my exercise day, whether that's pull-ups, whether that's running, whether that's powerlifting. Sundays will be reserved for my training. So, which is kind of weird, because before, when I first started my YouTube channel, when I started the daily videos, it was very heavily focused on exercise. It was like pull-ups every day, and it was more like vlog style. So it's just, I think about it now, and it's been, roughly 9 months since I've started the daily videos, and my content has really shifted. And I think it's shifted for the better, just because, it's what's currently happening in my life, and I'm okay with that. And I'm also okay with just being very, very diverse, because number one, I also make like daily videos. So if I can't get it one day, I'll just get it the next day. So I am excited for that. And also I started investing in Pokemon cards, or it's like investing, collecting, trading. So right now it's actually not necessarily investing and not necessarily trading. It's just been opening packs, buying packs. And yeah, cause more so mainly I went to Walmart and then grabbed a bunch of stuff. It was a good haul, and then that was the first time I went to Walmart. That was last Tuesday, and then ended up going at the right time, and I picked up a bunch of stuff, about $260 worth of stuff, and I'm trying my best not to open all of the boxes that I bought, because a lot of the items, they go for, some of the boxes that I bought, the ones that I bought for $20 are going for about $45 to $50. So I definitely want to resell those, but some of the other boxes that I have, I bought another Evolutions box. It's like similar to that red one right there. I bought that for $40, and it's currently selling on eBay right now for about $75. So $75. So, but I also I want to build a collection, but if I build a collection, then I can't open the box. I can't sell the box. So it's like one of those things where I want to resell it, but I also want to collect it and I want to open it. But, we'll see where it goes. For now, I'm just going to hold on to it, and I'll probably put it up on eBay pretty soon. So I am excited for that. And I am lagging today on my Instagram post. Today, because I usually post 3 times a day on Instagram, and today I've only posted once because I've just been so busy, and that's an excuse, and yada, yada, yada. But I have the picture already pulled up right here. It says, if you want to get better at communication or public speaking, start doing live streams. And I totally believe that too. And if you're not following me on Instagram yet, my Instagram is below, Life with Vince Luu, same handle. And I sincerely believe that if you want to get better at public speaking, communication, live streaming is a really good way to do that, just because you're speaking literally to a camera. And the first couple of live streams that I did, they were in my opinion, really rough. I look back on it now, I'm like, whoa, I've definitely grown a lot since then. And once you replay back a live stream, you'll start noticing your tendencies. Like I have this tendency to lip smack, like before I talk, and I am trying my best not to do that. And I also try my best to not say ums and ahs and literally just take a pause instead. And for me, that sounds a little bit better. So, Wayne Bordeaux, good to see you. How you ran 10 miles. So I'm not sure what you mean by that question. You probably are referencing my run 10 miles a day for 30-day challenge, if I am guessing that correctly. So I ran the 10 miles a day for 30 days in the month of April. And yeah, I ran 10 miles a day for 30 days. It wasn't anything crazy. It was a cool challenge, and it was tough. And it was one of my favorite challenges that I did because it really helped me build my ultra running base. And I believe like day 15 to day 18, that's when it started to get a little bit rough, but I was able to power through it. The cool thing is that I was able to not walk any of the 300 miles that I did run. So I am proud that I did that. And then in the month of July, I did another challenge. It was the Calendar Club Challenge plus 4 miles. And what the Calendar Club Challenge is that you run the number of miles on the given day of the month. So July 1st, run 1, July 31st, run 31, and then everything else in between. But when you add up 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way up to 31, you only get 496. And so I was so close to 500, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to tack on another 4 miles, and I'll run 500 miles total. And that challenge was rough. That challenge was definitely hard, especially the last 10 days or so. The first 14 days is honestly not all that bad, but once it got into the 20 miles per day, that's when it started getting rough. And then at that point, that was also when I started run walking. I'm up until I believe day 21. I don't know if it was day 21. It's right around there somewhere. I was running pretty much all the way through. When I say running, I mean jogging. And it was good. And then next thing you know, I was really feeling it. And I started to do the run walk method. I started, running 7 minutes, walking for 3. And then I did that, I think, for 2 days only. And then I switched to the 6-4. So I run for 6 minutes, walk for 4. Run for six minutes, walk for 4. And I did that all the way up until the end, until the day 31, where I ran 31 miles. So that one was a really good challenge. One of my favorite challenges. But I think if you're going to attempt to do the Calendar Club Challenge, just be conscious of, number one, what month you choose it on. I decided to choose it on a 31-day month because I wanted it to be hard. Like I could have waited until a 30-day month, but I didn't want to wait until a 30-day month because I really wanted that 31st day. And then also, you can wait until February of next year to do it as well because that one only has 28 days. So it really just depends because it exponentially gets harder with, if you go 28 versus, 30, 31, even that extra day, that's a lot of miles that you're putting in, plus all the other miles that you already ran. So I think that challenge is really tough. I mean, no matter what month you do it on, I think the challenge is tough. Where I, am hesitant in recommending that challenge is making sure that you are, I would say making sure you are experienced enough and your body can handle it. That's, where my caution to you lies, is make sure that you are ready to run, that type of distance, because it might sound good on paper or like a good thought to do it, but then when you actually do it, it's really rough. And I say a good test to if you could do the Calendar Club Challenge is if you can get through the run 10 miles a day for 30 days, I think, if you can do the 10 miles a day for 30 days with no issues, I think you may be ready for the Calendar Club Challenge. Just because I did both, the run 10 miles a day for 30 days, it it really wasn't that bad. I thought it was kind of bad when I was running it, but I look back on it now and I didn't need to walk any of it. Whereas the Calendar Club Challenge, that one was rough. And but I think if you do the run 10 miles a day for 30 days and you're like, that was so easy, then I think the Calendar Club Challenge, is a good challenge for you. Then your body might be ready. But also, I've had a lot of training before that, the months and months before that, of ultra running, or at least putting in miles on my feet. So just be careful when you do that type of mileage, right? Cool. So with that being said, we're about 15 minutes into the live stream. Let's get into the questions. And if you have any questions, also make sure just to throw it in the chat, and then I'll answer those as well. But I'll knock out the 10 questions, and then I'll go to the live chat, and then interact with you all just a little bit, and then we'll call it a day. Perfect. Cool. So first question comes from Mauricio, my boy Mauricio. So great practice. Do you think YouTube presence helps with your confidence in presenting? So I believe this was in regards to a real estate video that I made the other day, and presenting probably a presentation or scripts practice. And I do think YouTube making videos, and especially live streams, it really does help with, number one, your public speaking, and number two, your camera presence, because that is a real thing. And I mean, it just makes sense because you're speaking, you're continuously speaking, and even though there's not someone on the other side of the camera, even though there's not someone like literally in front of me, there are people on the other side of the camera. So, you all watching. And I really do think that YouTube really does help, especially in sales, especially as my career as a California real estate agent. Like my job is to basically be a professional communicator. I have to not only be good at communication, like I have to be, there's clarity, there's enunciation, there's getting your point across, there's the feeling of, like, the other person to feel that you're connected with them, building rapport. That all goes into public speaking. And I think YouTube really does help with that. So I think that if you want to better your public speaking, you can start your YouTube video or start doing YouTube videos. The more YouTube videos that you do, the easier that it's going to get. And I'm sure all of us were there, at one point when we first started, and we're saying, I still say ums, I still say ahs, I still smack my lips, but it's gotten a lot better. So I've always been a fan. If you want to better your presence, especially, you're just communication in general, I think YouTube is a very big, it's a plus. It can only help in my opinion. But obviously, I've been doing this YouTube thing for, almost 9 months now of a daily YouTube video. So I would say, especially, all you small YouTubers out there, you probably have this, a similar opinion of, hey, like, even if you're not the best public speaker right now or like confidence in presenting, that YouTube has helped in that arena. So yeah, I think my YouTube presence has definitely helped in my career as a California real estate agent. Cool. Next question. Ready Reg asks, any first edition boxes? So the other week, last week on Tuesday, I ended up going to Walmart to buy Pokemon cards, and that's when I started investing, collecting, and flipping Pokemon cards. I ended up getting, if you can see that box right there, that's a Evolutions box, Evolutions Elite Trainer box. I ended up getting ended up getting 3 of those, 2 Charizard, and then 1 Blastoise, and then I ended up grabbing 6 boxes of Pokemon Hidden Fates, 2 Gyarados, 2 Raichus, and 2 Charizards. Those were going for $20, and I could flip them on eBay for $40 to $45 right now. And unfortunately, no first edition boxes. I don't even know where to get first edition boxes, to be honest with you. Like, if it's there, I'll definitely grab it. But I mean, if anything is there, I'll definitely grab it. So unfortunately, no first edition boxes, but if there are first edition boxes, I'll definitely be grabbing those. And then also, where is it? I've been going to Target, Walmart, and all these places to try and find Pokemon cards, to try to find the restock dates. Walgreens said that they have a shipments come in every Tuesday and Thursday. So I don't know why, but no, I'm sorry, every Monday and Thursday. And I went to go check because they're like pretty much all out of Pokemon cards and sports cards, and I've been trying to find the day where it, that they restock. So, since so I went on Tuesday and then to Walmart, and I was like, oh, there's a lot. I was like, okay, it's going to be this easy all the time. And I've been back ever since, sometimes even twice a day, to check Walmart, Target, and then Walgreens, and then they haven't restocked at all. So I don't know. I think actually, so I went to Target yesterday, Monday. So Monday, and then I was able to grab this right here. This is the Sword and Shield Pokemon. It comes with 16 booster packs, and then also 2 promo cards. And this thing was like $100, and it's only retailing. I mean, it's only reselling on eBay for about 140 to 150. So it's like, do I really want to resell it? It's like, because there's like eBay fees. Like, I might as well just hold on to it. So I think it's definitely going to go up in value. But also, I think it's a good, it's a cool thing to have, especially if you're collecting. I actually want one of each box, right? I think that would be cool. So like for me, I already have one of that Charizard Evolutions box, so I probably won't open another one. I'll probably just resell that one, but I want to open the Blastoise one. So, we'll see. But, in terms of Pokemon card trading, I am super excited because it's really fun and really nostalgic just opening up packs. So, and it makes for good YouTube content too. So, at least in my opinion. Because those booster pack openings can get really addicting, because I find myself just watching them now, and I have to shut it off because I am also really trying to be hyper productive, and this past week has been a lot less productive, or the past 7 days, because I've been getting into Pokemon cards. But now it's like, okay, it's not that serious anymore. It's like, all right, let me focus back on real estate and other things that I have to do. So no first edition boxes. To answer your question, ready reg, but I'll definitely be grabbing those whenever I see them. All right, next question. Brandon and Helena's financial journey. Very cool to see the tour, Vince. Are real estate prices still 3 money signs there in California? And I believe that means expensive. Yes, it is quite expensive in California. But to be honest with you, I don't know any other, I've never lived anywhere else besides California. Besides, like a couple months in Shanghai. But other than that, I haven't lived anywhere else. So I don't know, I know I don't live in Texas. I don't live in, I've never lived in those areas. So for me, California, it's just regular life, right? But I compare it to other places, it is bonkers expensive. I mean, the median price in my area is around $500,000, $500,000 to $600,000, and $500,000 to $600,000. It's just like an okay property. I mean, if you take that same money and go to Texas, you're going to get a mansion. Or I was talking to my buddy, Zach from Achilles Financial. He was showing me the home that he's in. And the home that he's in, it's in Athens, Georgia. And, it was about $250,000. And I was like, dude, that house is nice. Over here, if you were to get a house that looked like that, you'd probably easily go for $700,000. So it is still bonkers crazy right now, but I think that's everywhere in terms of prices going up, and then also, the prices are going up, but also there's a lot of demand for it. That's why the prices are going up, because there's a huge demand, right? Because the supply, the listed homes cannot keep up with the demand. And the reason why buyers really want to buy right now is because it's record low interest rates. It's below 3%, about 2.5%. And to give you a context of how important the interest rate plays in buying a home, it's really important. So, for example, if you were to take a $700,000 loan, so same loan, 30 years, 4% versus 3%. So same exact loan, same exact terms, 700,000, 30 years, right? 4%, but the only difference is the percentage, the the percentage, the interest rate, right? So 4%, 3%. Over 30 years, that 1% difference, you save $96,000. $96,000. That's a lot of money. And if you look back at just, interest rates from a few years ago, I mean, right now it's 2.5, but like literally a year ago, it was like 3.5. And then, even a couple years back was 4 or 5%, right? So now it's 2.5%. That's why buyers want to buy now, especially if you're looking to get a loan, because it's the cheapest it's ever been to get a loan to borrow money. So that's what's causing the spike of all the buyers, buying homes. And with that, obviously, because there's so many buyers buying up homes, the homes that are listed, right? So people selling their home, the price is going to go up. It just makes sense because there's a higher demand, so prices are going to go up. So in my area, roughly 20% increase from last year. From a year ago, 20%. That's a lot. So if a house is $600,000 last year, now it's $720,000, right? So that's why it's a little bit crazy right now. And I believe it's like this in a lot of different places. With real estate, it's one of those things to where it depends on your area, right? I mean, not every single area is going to be like this, but a lot of areas are, especially in California. So, cool. Perfect. So let's move on to the next question. Next question, Akil Nova. He says, Vince, you getting into jiu-jitsu? So my boy Akil, I have been into jiu-jitsu. I started jiu-jitsu in late March, early April of 2018. I started in Gracie Humaita in San Diego, California. And I ended up moving to Concord, California last year. So right now I am a member of Saber Jiu-Jitsu. And then also I'm a blue belt. So started my journey in let's say April 2018. I was promoted to blue belt in September of 2019. So it took me roughly, a year and a half. But since, when jiu-jitsu was, there wasn't COVID and the shelter in place thing, I was going to jiu-jitsu like 6 days a week. I was going to class 5 days a week, 5 to 6 days a week, and then I was taking at least one private lesson a week, sometimes two. And you might be asking, hey, why did you take so many private lessons? Isn't it really expensive? So I lucked out in the person I was working with, because he was like, hey, I'll cut you a deal. So, he gave me a really, really good price to where it was like, it's not even that bad when I'm paying, so I don't mind paying that. But just know it was a really, really good price. It wasn't like $100 an hour, not even $50 an hour, not even close to that. So, that's why I kept going back to him, because it was like, he's like, yeah, I just want lunch money. So, I've been into jiu-jitsu since March of 2018. But unfortunately I haven't been back since the whole shelter in place thing. I think I went to like 2 private lessons since then, but I haven't gone back just because, it's like a better safe than sorry type of thing. I really, really want to go back, and jiu-jitsu actually is my preferred form of fitness, my favorite form of fitness. I like it more than running. I like it more than powerlifting. I like it more than pretty much any other form of fitness. But with jiu-jitsu, you're so close to each other. You're sweating on each other. There's been times when people sweat in my eyes, like their hair drops, or sweat in my mouth on accident. You're that close, and either than your partner in life, you're never close to anyone else ever, except for it's like your partner and then jiu-jitsu. It's like you're very, very like physically close to each other. And for me, it's just a personal decision not to go back for the time being, until I want it to die down a little bit, maybe wait for the vaccine. But I might go back to training. But if I go back to training, I think I'll end up, wearing a mask, and then I'll also make sure that the other person that I train with is wearing a mask also. So yeah, I'm a big fan of jiu-jitsu. I have not always been, but March, April of 2018, and I really, really like it. That's why I really want to make more jiu-jitsu videos. Like for me, making those jiu-jitsu videos, it's not me that's speaking, it's Drea or Coach Bryant or Professor Bryant. So they take the load off of me because what am I? I'm a blue belt. I'm basically a third grader trying to, if I could put it into perspective for you, it's like a third grader trying to teach you calculus. It's like, it's not going to happen. Like, yeah, I know the basics, maybe like 1 + 2 + 3, but that's about it. And I feel like I don't have room-ish to talk about like certain things in jiu-jitsu. I think there's value. What the value comes from me, when I'm making those YouTube videos, it's more of a blue belt perspective, white belt perspective, and I feel like that perspective is valuable because like we're going through a tough time, or like it. I also think that the whatever part of the journey that you're in, doesn't matter if it's jiu-jitsu, if it's YouTube, if it's real estate, that is worth documenting and sharing with the world, because other people are starting jiu-jitsu, other people are a blue belt as well, and maybe they are feeling the same things that I'm feeling, or maybe they are experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing. And to be frank, my jiu-jitsu videos tend to do pretty well, so I wanted to continue those videos, because even though I'm not going to jiu-jitsu now, when I do go back, I know I'm only going to go full force back on it, and it's one of those things where it's not like it's not my life's passion, but I really, really like it. And that's why Drea and Coach B have been thankfully they've been they're down to record videos, because Drea has a brown belt and Professor Bryant as a black belt. They have that knowledge, and they make my life a lot easier, because now I feel that I can provide value to you all from their perspective, but also my perspective as a blue belt. So I'm excited to continue those videos. Cool. All right, next question comes from Choose Tech Lifestyle. What the heck? Why is a lot of YouTubers buying Pokemon cards now? So what made you want to get into that now too? So yeah, for me, Pokemon cards, I really like, flipping, investing, trading. I've always been into that. I mean, I've sold a lot of things on not a lot of things. I've probably sold like 10 to 15 items on Poshmark. I've sold a bunch of stuff on eBay. And I really like that, like flipping, right? And reselling. That's always been not necessarily passion, but that's something that I like to do. There's a certain rush to that. But also I've like thought about Pokemon cards for a while, at least, for like about 6 months or to a year. So not a while, but, a short amount of time. And I was texting my friend and I was like, hey, I just asked him a bunch of questions. And then he's like this, that. And I was like, okay. And I just never got into it. Right. But then now with everyone, especially, it could be social media, Logan Paul buying whatever crazy amount of money for a first edition box, or a Charizard's worth that much, or also Gary Vee, right? About investing in like sports cards, Pokemon cards. And, I was like, hey, let's give this a try, because with Pokemon, it's nostalgic for me. So I really like, the feeling of nostalgia. And I like investing in things in which it's going to like return value, or it's going to be greater in the future. That or flipping, right? Because with Pokemon cards, you can either flip them, or if you get the right cards, then you can keep them, and then they're going to go up in value. Whereas for me, like, I don't like to spend my time doing things that aren't going to like either benefit me like in any type of way, or benefit me in the terms of like benefit me in terms of like my personal development, or it's not going to make me money, right? So like for me, that's why I'm not really into video games anymore. I never really was into video games. I was more into computer games. There was this one game, Conquer, that I loved playing, but I don't play it anymore, because now it's like it was just a time suck. And years later, there's nothing to come from it. Whereas if you invest in, even though it's like, oh, Pokemon, how old are you, like, but it's Pokemon cards go up in value. That's the thing, is that I'm not getting into something for like that's not going to be valuable in the future, right? That I think Pokemon's here to stay. It's just one of those things where it's been here for like a while, and I think it'll continue to grow. I mean, they're only growing, and these cards that we buy today, or especially from 10 years ago, they're only going to go up in value. So that's my personal opinion, and I really just wanted to get into another hobby in which I could collect, invest, flip, and make a little bit of money, right? And it's just fun. It's fun. So the issue with me is now everything that I buy, it's like making sure that I don't open those things, or at least if I open them, put it on YouTube and make a YouTube video out of them. But I don't want to be spending thousands and thousands of dollars. What I really want through my Pokemon journey is I want to buy cards and then like buy my inventory, and then flip half, open half. So if I invest $500, I can, if I were to sell it, then I could make, let's say, an additional $200 or $250, let's say, right? And then I can open the other half, and I'll always kind of break even. So it's like buy, open half, flip half, and then that half that I use, put it back into that pot, and then it'll keep funding itself. Because what I don't want is I don't want to open everything and then $1,000 and then never sell anything, and I keep spending more money. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a hobby that I can flip, that I can reinvest that money back in, because I really don't want to put in more than $500. I think $500 can get me pretty far as well. So if I buy the right things, I can flip it, and it's just a lot of fun, to be honest with you. It's been a lot of fun for the first week that I've been a part of it. So cool. Awesome. Next question. Prime Estate Brokerage asks, how's the journey going now? So I believe this was in regards to my jiu-jitsu video, because he says os. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is jiu-jitsu and not real estate related. And yeah, the journey is going well. It's going well for what it is, right? Because I made a personal choice not to go train for my own personal reasons. So I haven't been training in 8 months. I'm happy, but I'm okay with that because I haven't been progressing because I haven't been training. If I had been training, then I would have been progressing, but I'm not. And it's just part of my own journey. And when things go back to normal, or when things settle down, then I'll be going back full force. But it's frustrating because I haven't been able to train at all, pretty much. But at the same time, I like other forms of fitness. I like running. I don't like running all that much, to be honest. I like doing pull-ups. I like powerlifting. But there's other forms of fitness that keeps me fit and healthy. But I do miss jiu-jitsu. I miss the camaraderie. I miss hanging out with everyone on the mats. And honestly, I miss learning and getting choked out and choking other people out. Me choking other people out doesn't happen very often. But I miss it. I just miss getting better. And yeah, it's been a setback. But I think, I was talking to my professor about this the other day, and it's just a part of my journey, right? It's like, what am I supposed to do? Everyone, for me, I don't really it's a lot of people are going back to training. I don't care if you go back to training, and as long as you don't I don't care if you go back to training, but I also don't care if you don't go back to training, because each one of us has their own opinion about this, and we can't change, nor do I want to change your opinion about how you should act with everything going on. It's your life. You make the call. Just understand the repercussions that come with it, or the potential repercussions, right? And that's with anything that we do. So with that, I'm not when people go back, I'm like, cool, that's awesome that you're going back. And people that aren't going back, it's like, cool, awesome. It's cool that you're not going back. That doesn't really matter to me, but as long as, as long as you don't tell me oh, you should, I don't know. So, yeah, it is what it is. And for me, I'd rather just be patient, better safe than sorry, a little bit on the safer side. So, yeah, it's all good. So I'm itching to get back, though. I really, really want to get back. But, what are you going to do? Because I don't know. What are you going to do? This is one of those things where I don't really not that I don't like talking about it, but it's just I'm at a loss for words, because I don't know what to do. Because it's if I go back, yes, but also, better safe than sorry. Okay, maybe there's a middle ground. I think that middle ground is, training with training partners that aren't training with a lot of people. And then also we all wear masks. That's fair. I would say. I don't know. That's just my opinion though. So, at least for me. So, cool. Awesome. Moving on to the next question. Brandon and Helena's financial journey. Second question. Glad to see that you're getting into the real estate gig. I'm sure that ultra running has definitely prepared you for some of the difficulty of the job. Do you know any financial advisors who have real estate licenses? So I don't know any financial advisors who have their real estate licenses as well. So from my understanding, and do not take my word for this at all, it's just because I have a friend, and this is how all like rumors start about everything. So I have a friend that he said he's studying for his 6 series, 7 series, 8 series. I don't know, but I think that's what a financial advisor, that's in the realm of financial advising, and I think you need to pass those tests in order to be a financial advisor. What he was telling me was you can't, if you can't get your real estate license if you're a financial advisor. And that's just from that's what he told me, but I honestly have no idea because he was saying that it's a conflict of interest. And again, don't quote me because I don't know anything about this, but I'm just telling you what was told to me. It was because if you're a financial advisor, you're advising people to invest in certain companies or certain mutual funds or whatever it is, right? And then you could be strayed the wrong way because, with real estates, with like REITs and stuff like that, it can get a little convoluted. And that's why I think there's a conflict of interest. But again, I'm not 100%. So, all right. We have 3 more questions and then we'll get to the live chat. So Augie Silver Fitness, aka Kelvin, he asked, Vince, do properties sell quickly over there in your area? Are you only allowed to sell in a certain area where you live, or can you sell further afield? So to answer your first question, does property sell quickly over here? Yes, it sells very quickly, less than 21 days, and it's really, really quick. And 21 days is fast. Some properties are selling in 7 days, 10 days, very, very common, and that is quick. And yeah, it is what it is. The market's really competitive right now, and that's just the landscape that we're living in. And it's competitive, and I think that it's a good time for me to start as a new agent. So I started roughly about 3 months ago. So I started on the 10th of September. So it'll be 3 months next month. 3 months tomorrow. And I'm glad that I started now because since it's competitive, you have to be good. You like think about like if I'm able to get through a competitive market, then because listings are harder to come by, buyers really competitive. I'm going to learn more. I'm going to be a better agent. So if you start hard, in a hard environment, it's only going to make me better. So that's what I feel. And to answer your second question, are you only allowed to sell in a certain area? So for me, I'm allowed to sell in all of California, in the state of California. I know, Augie, you are from the UK, so I'm sure you're aware, there's 50 states, and for us, I'm only able to sell in California. And really, in my opinion, so I work in the Bay Area, so I'll work in the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland, Concord, Walnut Creek, San Jose. I'll go as south as San Jose, which is about an hour away from me, and then I'll go as north or northeast as Sacramento. And Sacramento it's where I'm from, so I work in that area as well. But that's basically as far as I'll go. So if someone is, let's say, in San Diego, down south, that's about an 8-hour drive from me. I can certainly help buyers buy and sellers sell in that area. But I just don't feel comfortable doing that. If someone is adamant and working with me, for that, I'm okay with it. But I would most likely refer them to an agent in their area because I think, with real estate, it's one of those things where it's highly localized. And it's a local, as in terms of residential real estate, it's better if you work with someone that's local, right? That's someone that really knows the area, because there are things that you're not going to know if you're not in the area. It's things like a certain feeling, right? because this, it's on one side of the freeway versus the other side of the freeway, because it's closer to this or closer to that. I really think that, if you're working with a real estate agent, they should be they should be very, very familiar with the area. And yeah, I mean, again, my license extends all the way, up and down California. Though at the same time, it really depends on the commission, right? Because if it's a $5 million house, like, yeah, I'll fly to San Diego for that if someone is willing to work with me, and the commission's gonna be crazy good. But for the most part, if it's like a regular price home, $500,000-$600,000, and let's say the commission is 2.5%. I mean, if it's $500,000, 2.5%, that's only $12,500. I'm not going to be flying to San Diego for that, because it takes a lot of time and energy, and we're going to have to view multiple homes, and there's just a lot to do. It's just easier to work with someone in your area, and I'll refer it out. So cool. All right, moving on to the next question. Lily asked, how old were your kittens when you adopted them? So my kittens, Baby Olive and Waffles. Waffles was very young. I believe he was 4 to 6 weeks old. And we adopted him from my brother's friend, and they had a litter. So I know that usually adoption, they'll wait like a certain time period where they're like at least a little bit older, like 8 to 12 weeks, just so you're supposed to keep them with their mother or something like that. I don't know. But we adopted Waffles really, really early. He was, I don't know, I feel like the size of my hand, or maybe like a little bit bigger than my hand. And he was really, really young. But with Olive, so they're right around the same age. And with Olive, we adopted her around 12 weeks from a shelter, just because we didn't want Waffles to be lonely by himself. And we adopted her, and luckily at first they didn't really get along, because cats are territorial, but now they do get along, and it's just, it's a love-hate relationship with them, actually, to be honest, because sometimes Waffles will kick her out of the top bunk, or not the top bunk, but the top of the cat tree. So, but they're also cuddling with each other all the time. And yeah, so they were pretty young. I mean, Waffles was pretty young when we adopted him, and then Olive was, a little bit older. And we really wanted to get them younger, because we were reading up, like, it's better to start them young, because once they get a little bit older, cats can be territorial. And if you have a 5-year-old cat, and then you introduce like a 1-year-old cat, they might not get along, because again, they're territorial and they're just not used to it. It's like, so the earlier that you get them, the better, so that they can get used to each other and hopefully be able to adapt to each other. Cool. All right, last question. And Augie Silver Fitness, aka Kelvin, back with a second question, asked, is there money to be made? I never knew. So yes, and this was in regards to the Pokemon cards. Yes, there's crazy money to be made. You'd be surprised at what type of crazy money there is, especially for the older cards. So if you have like kids or grandkids that still have their old binder, some of those cards are worth a lot, especially if they're in really good condition. Most likely they're not in that great condition. Because it's not only the condition that they're in, like no scratches, no bends, stuff like that, but it depends on the centering. It depends on, it depends on a few things. I forget what they are, but I believe there's 4 categories. But some of them are worth a lot. And if you can get your hands on, depending on what card, it could be worth like tens of thousands of dollars if they're in good condition, right? So, there's definitely money to be made. Cool, and there we go. That is all the questions for the time being, and I will get to the live chat now, and then we'll call it a day. So Robbie, good to see you, my friend. The Trend says, hi, I have a question. The Trend, I don't see a question. So if you have a question, put it down now, and then I'll answer it. So Robbie says, here to support. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Don't forget to give the brother Vince a thumbs up. Yeah, so if you haven't already done so, if you can give this video a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. Ariel asked, what's the next skill you want to invest but not right now? You want to invest in but not right now. So the next skill, swimming. I think not right now because of swimming. I've always wanted to learn how to swim. I can't swim. I mean, I could go from A to B. So if you told me to go to a pool A to B, I can do that, but I can't tread water. So I definitely think that I need to learn how to tread water because I can doggy paddle for like 5 minutes and then I'm a goner. So, but yeah, that's definitely on my to-do list. And then Robbie says, "Hey Vince, have you seen that movie I Love You Man? Remember when Paul Rudd was selling Lou Ferrigno's house?" I remember watching that watching that movie, but I don't really remember that movie. So I'll have to rewatch it again. Cool. Well, today's live stream was a short live stream. And, we'll try this out. We'll see the analytics. And if I need to change it back to having a certain topic, because I think with a certain topic, it'll attract more people because they know what I'm talking about. Whereas, with the Q&A, it's so like, okay, what is he going to answer? I don't know. So cool. Well, I appreciate you all. I am going to cook some dinner now. So tonight we're having tacos and quesadillas. So cool. Other than that, if you have any questions, let me know, DM me, or put it down in the comments below. All right, everyone. Peace. See you all later.